Hi, this is Wendy from HMO Success, and this is a very quick video, 5 minutes, just to tell you a little bit about how to rent your rooms if they're not renting right now. I think some people have seen a bit of a slowdown in room rents. We're now in March 2024. Obviously, rents have gone up over the last year, and some people are finding their rooms are just lagging on the market. So I want to give you 5 quick tips to help you to rent your rooms fast and get going on making sure you've got a profitable HMO business. So the first thing that I want to point out is, of course, Spareroom. How many of us don't use Spareroom? I bet we all use Spareroom. But the point about Spareroom is there's some really, really good tools to help you to maximize your rents. Now, it might be that because you're not renting rooms in London, you just skip past this front page and you never take a look at it. But I want to highlight something on this very important front page, which is the Where to Live wizard. You can see it just right here. It says looking in London, and there's a Where to Live wizard. Now, if you're renting rooms in somewhere else, some other part of the country, you probably won't see this. And if you do see it, you probably just skipped on past it. But I want to share exactly why this is powerful. So when I click on the Where to Live wizard, you can see there's lots and lots of descriptions of types of rooms. So if, for example, you're a tenant looking to rent in London, you can click on these different words, and those words will show up in the adverts that you're looking for. So, first great tip. Number one, if you've got a room to rent in London and you're finding that it's slowing down, you want to make sure you put these descriptors, these adjectives in your advert. The more of these that you put into your advert, the more likely they'll be picked up when somebody comes onto the Spareroom website and uses them to find their ideal room. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that it does actually match the description of the room that you're offering. Otherwise, that person might get a bit of a surprise. But this is a great way to make sure that your advert is absolutely geared to your market. If you haven't got rooms in London, still use it, because these are the kind of words that people are looking for in terms of the rooms they want to rent. So that's the first tip. Second tip, you know that you can look to compare in your local area. So let's say we were to look for Oxford, and I wanted to compare what other availability there was in Oxford. I can see here that there's 698 results that have come up, and I can look and see what the average room rate is just by flicking through those room rates. And of course, they vary. But one of the key things is, are you looking in the right area? So this is where you want to show results on a map. This is a really key part of using Spareroom, because Spareroom will filter those results by postcode area. So you might have an OX postcode area, but actually, is it just Oxford? When we start to look at the map, we realise no. Also, Banbury, Kidlington, Didcot, they're also on this map. But what if you've got rooms in central Oxford, and actually you want to have a look and see what the competition is like in that particular part of the city? You want to be focusing in on the actual map. And when you do that, you see that actually there's maybe only 100 rooms of the 698 that are being shown, because there's only 100 rooms for rent in Oxford. Now, this is great because what it does is it shows you your immediate competitors. It shows you which of the rooms are available and what the prices are. So you can click on the link and have a look. There's a double room for £700. What's this one? There's a double room for 650. There's a single room for 490. There's a double for 845 up to 925. That is much more accurate if you've got a room in Oxford city centre. There's no point just looking at the list and thinking, oh yes, all these rooms are comparables, because they're not, because they're in different areas. So you must check your area. Third thing, what about contacting tenants directly? Don't be scared. Those are the people who've gone on the rooms wanted. They put in Oxford, and now we can see who's looking for rooms to rent. There's 759 results. Now, they may have put Oxford in their list as to where they would like to rent, but they might also be looking in lots and lots of different areas. So let me look at, here we are, genetic counsellor. That's a rather unusual advert, isn't it? So this is Alicia, and she's got an £800 a month budget, and she's only looking in Oxford. So she could be your ideal candidate, your ideal tenant. She's got a good budget, she's obviously a professional, and she knows where she wants to rent. But let's say we have, let me have a look down here, a single female, Bicester. So this girl obviously is keen on shopping. She wants to be near to the Bicester village, and so she's looking at renting in Bicester. So You need to be clicking into these particular adverts to see if those tenants are ideal for you and then contacting them. Don't be afraid to make contact. One piece of advice, though, I would say is that from my insider knowledge about Spareroom, I know that there's about another 25 to 30% of people who land on the Spareroom website and they never start up a profile. So you won't see a profile from those people contacting you to rent their rooms. They are waiting to see if the right room comes up or the right location comes up, and then they will pounce. So if you're looking at numbers as a way of assessing an area, do bear in mind there's another quarter, another sort of 25% of people who are not listed, but they're looking for rooms in your area. Which means that of those 759 results, we're probably looking at maybe more like 1,000 people who are looking for somewhere to rent, with Oxford as one of their destinations. And then the final tip is to make partnerships. So this is really outside of Spareroom, but it's a really important one. We do online advertising, we do offline advertising, and we work with people in our local area as well. So for example, a recruitment agency or a business that's maybe bringing people into the area. Obviously, if it's students, as in Oxford, you're going to be wanting to work with the universities. But find companies, find enterprises, find organisations that are working with bringing people into the UK, either by giving them jobs, training, or education, and find those partnerships in your local area. You'll find they can be incredibly fruitful if you're trying to fill rooms and you've got a few voids at the moment. So I hope that helps give you some ideas. There's lots of other things that I can suggest, and I'll do those in future videos, but I want to just help you today if you're finding renting your rooms a bit of a struggle. Hopefully these tips will help you change all of that, and I shall speak to you very